It's September the 9th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. TheJoelPearl.com on Blue Sky. One day I'll actually put it in with the other tag, but here we are. Not this week, not today, not come Tuesday, because we're here once again. We're gonna do the morning show. No, I am not Jeremy Lambert. Jeremy's normally here on Tuesday, but he's taking the day off, as well deserved as it is. So instead, who do I bring on? Who do I have? The guy who's always here on a Tuesday. The one, the only SP3. How you doing, pal?
I am doing well. I am doing very, very well. It's a Tuesday. I am here. Unfortunately, it is with Joel. Now, let me pull back the curtain to start off, because I usually start off the show with rants about Joel, because it's more likely that Joel will see it when he is not on the show if I do it right at the start. So that's why I put my rants there, because I'm sure he will see it there. But I will say it here. I'll pull back the curtain. I hate doing shows with Joel because I have to be nice to him. The whole bit is that me and Joel have some type of beef, to the point that Jeremy got convinced. He got worked. He got worked the other day when me and Joe were going at it. He got so worked. He was worried. Which is probably why he was off his game yesterday. I blame us. Or we worked him into a shoot. He was like, what am I gonna do? My two co-hosts hate each other, and that's why he's not here today. God bless him. We both appreciate him as not only his co-host, but two of his friends, that he's actually taking a break for once, because he deserves it. If anyone deserves it, it is him. But man, I apologize, because I did not mean to work everybody out there as well, because I saw the chat being like, oh my God, SP3. How could you say such a thing? You said he's not talking out his mouth. He's talking out his booty. Oh my God. It had everybody. It had everybody in the chat being like, SP3, you went too far. I was like, damn, I didn't know me and Joe was this good. So I apologize to everyone for that.
We went so hard at each other accordingly that we gave Jeremy a case of the SADS. We did so well. You know what's funny about it is I've watched a lot of discourse about the it's not that deep, and how people have kind of taken that as a way to brush off any criticisms or any long form, thought processes. And I'm like, this is one time where I'm just going to say it. It ain't that deep. It's wrestling. For us, we have fun with it. When we're serious about it, when we care about it, but normally when we care about it, it's because there are real life implications surrounding it.
Yeah.
With us, it's just like I got on SP3's New Japan nerves because I can, and because it's funny, and we get to have fun with that. And then he'll get on my nerves. Well, I don't even know what my nerves are, because honestly, I don't have any nerves at this point. I just exist on a plane if I'm tired. And that's what we do. So this is why when SP3 and I are on the show together, it's just like, now we have to pretend to be nice. And I'm going to make it even worse for you, SP3. You have to be extra nice to me today. You know why? It's my wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. That's beautiful.
Made it another year. So now you got to be nice. My brother's wedding anniversary was yesterday, that son of a bitch. And mine is today.
Well, I got to be nice to you for his wedding anniversary, too.
He ain't got to be nice to me for his wedding anniversary.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. Just mine. Mine's more important. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry. My kid's been enough of an asshole to me lately that it's okay. But you know who's not an asshole? The chat. Well, they are. But you know what?
They are too. They are too. Yeah. Is your kid trying to pass Harlem as the biggest kid heel in the business today?
Let me tell you the story after I tell people to leave a thumbs up. Go ahead. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Neither of us have them.
I'll show them our art while you do it.
Oh, please do. There you go. Thumbs up for that artwork. My God, is that evil Peppa? It was demonic.
I forgot. I only showed it to Jeremy. I never showed it to you.
God dang. What are we? There are teachers asking you questions after school with artwork like that. What is this? I'm sorry, audio listeners. You have to watch the video to understand how deeply offensive this is to my ocular nerves, of which I apparently have.
A 5-year-old drew this.
God dang. I'm scared. Does she like Halloween?
Yeah, she does.
Of course she does.
Movies. She watches Chucky. Like, there's no issue. She's in a room by herself watching Chucky.
Look, man, I'm never going to tell a parent how to parent, but I feel like doing that is not the way to do it. But again, it's not me. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. So I'm just going to leave out. It's fine. So leave a thumbs up for whatever that was. That was scary. And while you're at it, you can subscribe to the channel. Do you have more art? Yeah. Oh no, I thought you had more.
I'm just going to show this one.
That's
this
fine.
is the only one that really matters.
That's the one that matters. That's true. Whew, yeah, that's the real Peppa Pig because she is a real piece of work. You can ask Becky Lynch about that. SP3 is #1. And while you're at it, yeah, subscribe to the channel here and you can donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or your statement read on the air. Jesus Christ, that's scary. Peppa is an evil person. She's so it's so self-centered, so like self-righteous. She sucks. She's the worst.
I think this is just like my daughter's artistic expression that she sees through the mirage that kids are given about Peppa, and she sees the real Peppa for who she is.
You know what? I think that's a wonderful way to explain it. I would give your daughter full marks if that is what's going on in her head. It's not. She just likes Chucky and wants to put Peppa on it.
She's just, my daughter is 5 years old and autistic. She's one of the most selfish people that I know. I love her for it.
You know what?
But, yeah.
That's the thing about autism. It can flourish in so many different ways. So maybe she does understand it, and maybe this is her way of like artistically expressing it, like you said. So who knows? It could very well be that she gets it.
Another great story about Harlem and the heeldom that she is on. My Friday was my missus' birthday. Happy birthday to my missus. And for my missus' birthday, Harlem made her a note. So sweet, right? 5-year-old making their mother a note. And she leaves it on her dresser. So then when she wakes up in the morning, she looks on her dresser. She sees a sweet note from her daughter that says, "Old human."
It's better than what I thought it was going to say. Old human. Oh god dang. How did she land on old human?
I don't know. I didn't even know.
It's a factual statement, but like
I don't know. And how she timed it for her birthday weekend. Like, she must have had that in the bag for a while, and she was just waiting for the right time to pull it out.
Oh, that's amazing.
My son made her a picture with like a heart and stuff. This is the stuff. That's the difference between two twins born the same day. So different.
So different. I mean, we've got twins who live in our building, and they are very different as well. So like, I kind of get it, but it's like insane. Just the difference between your kids. It's just the funniest shit in the world.
I love that. See, your nerd said, "Are you raising Wednesday Addams?" The funniest part is that when she was like 1-2 years old, we dressed her up as Wednesday, and I was Gomez, and my missus was Morticia for Halloween. So that makes sense.
Ryan saying we need a play date with y'all's kids. So my kid's 3.5, and your kids are 5. There would be, they'd probably do okay, but my kid would be trying to keep up, and he's a little uncoordinated asshole. So he's we're dealing with the potty training side of things. We have been for the last little bit, and like he's getting better, and things have been really good, but they're not at the same time because the accidents happen. They continue to happen. And I'm the one, I'm cleaning up the number 2s, and my wife is doing the number 1s. And I'm just getting, you get to a point. I'm sorry, those of you who aren't parents, but maybe you pick up after your dogs. Maybe that's something you do. You ever get after a while, you're just like, I don't want to keep cleaning up and picking up after my dog or my animals or whatever. I'm at that point with my kid where I'm so done. And it happened yesterday, and I was like, I'm so done picking up after this kid. I'm so done. And it's a lifelong lesson that you learn. It is the most humbling experience being a parent, whether that is to a child or an animal. It's or if you're a teacher, maybe if you're a preschool teacher, right? Diana Perrazzo was on the show last week, and we talked about her as a preschool teacher, and it's a whole different experience. So, yeah, it's been an experience, like I said. But he's dealing with a lot because he's in a preschool, and like all of his friends moved up to kindergarten. So now he's like, I want to go to kindergarten. I want to go to kindergarten. And we're like, buddy, you gotta wait. You've still got another year at this preschool. And all the younger kids came in. So now he's one of the oldest in the class. And he's like, he hates it because all these kids don't know how to play like all the other preschoolers knew how to play. So now he's got to lead them, and he's trying, but it's the second week of being back to a full class and like everyone's there. It's been a little hell, but the kid, he'll come around. He will. He's got a lot of friends in our building, which is nice. But yeah, what an experience it's been cleaning up and handling shit, literally.
Literally and figuratively.
Yep. Anyway, good Lord. So anyway, that's parent talk. Bring your kids over. We'll
absolutely. Do you have any nice stories or bad stories? Either or. It sounds either or is good with us here. We have a bunch. Ryan saying he went to kindergarten when you were 4. That's when we start kindergarten here in Ontario. They start at 4. They start at 4. They do junior kindergarten. Used to be half day. When I was a kid, it was a half day kindergarten program. They moved to full day, like, I don't know, fairly recently. But listen, my wife will be the one to tell me when exactly it happened because she's on the ball with that stuff. But yeah, they do full day kindergarten now. So when he turns 4 next September, he will already be 4, but he will be up in the kindergarten program. Now he's got some time. Now he's in preschool. So they do junior kindergarten, which is like an actual school setting, then senior kindergarten, and then they start grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn, you got to be a senior in kindergarten. That's what's up. Those 5-year-olds, man, they know how to run it. They run this. They run the game. They run this town tonight, dude. They're doing dice games out in schoolyards. They know. They playing 3-card Monty with these kids. Oh man, they hustling, running shop. They get the whole business. It's the way I want it to be. Anyway, we got business too. Volop sends a super chat saying, I feel a lot better today and hope Jeremy is too. Even if he's not, I know he will be. Either way, he will be an old human. Shout out to you, Volop. I'm glad you're feeling better. I am glad. Yes. I hope everyone's feeling good. And if you're not, maybe we can inject some goodness into your day. Just like that. Just have a 5-year-old call you an old human. That injects happiness into my day. You think so, right? I sent it's funny because I sent a text to a friend of mine just being like, hey, do you have this person from AWPR's email? And they're just like, oh, are you waiting to find out if you got your credentials for All Out yet? I'm like, oh, no, I already know that I won't get those until like the Friday before the show. They had other things to deal with, but it's just the fact that they're like, oh yeah, everyone's still waiting. I'm like, oh, I'm aware. And eventually they'll come. But it's just the way they operated. This is just how this works. It's not a dig at AEW because listen, with TNA, it's like you either have to email them with a huge runway or a short one. There is no in between. You can't give them like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. No. It's either like 3 days before or 3 months before. You can't do anything different. But AEW, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how far in advance you make the request. They're still gonna let you know a week before. And yeah, WWE does that sometimes as well. They're good on it with like the pay-per-views, letting you know a month in advance. But if you're trying to go to like a Monday Night Raw, they're letting you know like Sunday. Yeah. That was the whole thing. Was it Edge's last match in WWE? It was in Toronto. So I was asking. Mm-hmm. I was asking Sean, I was like, hey, any chance that I can get either 1 or 2 tickets? He's like, that's a favor. And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. I ended up going, and I don't think it was sold out, but there wasn't any problem with me getting a ticket as people thought there would be. Because this was at the time when we were starting to report the comp tickets were becoming less and less of a thing. But yeah, I ended up going to that. And then the Johnny Gargano return. That was a surprise in Toronto. That was a 2023. Yeah. And my friend and I, we actually bought tickets to that one. So I'm trying to think, like, did we ask WWE? Not for that one. We bought
$40 lower bowl seats, like obstructed view, blah blah. And yeah, that was a good time. That was a really nice surprise. Couldn't tell you what else happened on the show. Beth was on the show, Edge was on the show. They were still doing Judgment Day feuding. Trish
It was August of 2022.
Pardon?
I can tell you. Wasn't it August of 2022?
I thought it was October.
Oh, it was October?
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. You're probably right.
WWE Return Toronto.
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, I'm just curious about it. Because now I can't remember his last sentence. No, it makes a surprise return to WWE. Oh no, it was August 22. You were right.
Oh, okay.
You're the one with the encyclopedic knowledge. I just
I just say things. They just come in my head and I just say it. I don't really know for sure.
I have an okay mind for that. It's you and Will Washington are two guys that I know for sure have that kind of encyclopedic knowledge with times and dates and locations, things like that. And it always blows me away because I have it to a degree, but not to the same that you guys have.
Yeah, I just remember that time period very well because I remember I was like, this is when I was knee deep in like everything that I'm doing now with like writing and doing podcasts and doing kind of covering everything, aggregation of what's going on, all the different reports. And I remember that one particularly because I remember like Johnny came back. It was out of nowhere. Everybody was kind of excited. It was like, oh, Johnny has a chance to be a top star. It's like, boy, how that's changed in 3 years. Now he's just in the tag team he always fit in. So
my feeling was, hey, this is great. And then otherwise it was like, that's a nice surprise we got. I wonder what will happen. And everyone was just like, things.
And he came back for a Miz feud.
That's a rite of passage. That is a
feud with the Miz for months.
Good. He should. That is a rite of passage. Look, man, they're doing fine. He and his wife get to work for the company, get to make some money. They moved house recently. They're good. They got to visit Cosm in Dallas. You seen that thing? It's where they do those WWE pay-per-views. They got the 360 cameras and the big room with like the screens. Okay. I want to go to this thing. I really want to see what it looks like because it looks so cool in photos. But also, they said the Thunderdome was going to be really cool. And anyway,
and it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was. I brought this up yesterday. I was listening to some old podcasts from like 5 years ago, and this was around the time because speaking of August, it was August 2020 when they were bringing up the Thunderdome. That's when it came out. They made it this huge deal 5 years ago. Vince and Kevin Dunn and Triple H and all the bigwigs were just like, "This is going to be the greatest thing ever. It's so cool. We're partnering with XYZ company and we're going to do all this stuff." And because the content creators like us were in a way starved for content, and it's not like the weekly TV was giving us much, we got super excited about Thunderdome. And some people were like, this is going to be the coolest thing ever, technology based. No, it was lights and video boards. That's about it.
It was a cool concept. I thought it was definitely cool because of like the alternative where people tend to forget how bad Performance Center WWE main roster was. Like those episodes of SmackDown were unwatchable. There was some good stuff on Monday Night Raw, but most of that was unwatchable as well. But like, man, it was just so bad for like 3-4 month period. So then when we got the Thunderdome and we're seeing video screens with actual fans, it was groundbreaking. It was like, oh my God. It's like we had come back from the wilderness and seen a TV for the first time in the 1950s. Like that type of thing. Like it was like, whoa, this is unreal.
Did you ever go into the Thunderdome and like participate?
I think I did sign up one time. I don't know if I ever did it. I completed it because I think I was like, I'm not that interested in doing it. But then I think one of my friends was like, oh no, you should just sign up, see if you can get on. So I think I did sign up. I think I did get accepted to one, but I don't think I ever did one because I was like, no, why would I want to just do all this all the time? Like what?
This is what birthed the reaction streamer in WWE
Yeah.
lore. This is why. You know what? Jeremy and I had an extended conversation about reaction streamers, and I'm ready to call it. SB3, the Thunderdome created the reaction streamer. We all saw our faces in the Thunderdome and we're like, that's marketable. And now we're stuck, man. We're stuck. AJ Lee's back. Someone throws a chair out the window. They're so excited. Brock Lesnar comes back. Someone throws their shoe through the TV because they're so excited. Shit happens, man. And they just want to react to it. And you know what? Listen, I said it on yesterday's show. It's fine. It's not necessarily for me, but like I get it. People want to cheer, and this is a heightened excitement. I think Jeremy pointed it out perfectly. It's like, where's the line? Where is Sami Zayn winning the title versus AJ Lee's return? Why are these reactions being treated as equal when they are clearly not?
Yeah, I think that's the issue, is that WWE is not being selective with those moments that they get these big reactions from. Thus, it's making the reactors, the content creators, want to have bigger and bigger reactions. And, oh my God, the title change that I knew was going to happen happened. Wow. So then when you see something that is actually shocking, like Brock Lesnar coming back at SummerSlam or AJ Lee coming back on SmackDown, yeah, there is no gauge, there is no meter, because the reaction is on the same level, or the people would not come back, because they're like, this is what we expect from you, this is what we want from you, and that's what the company wants from you as well. Like, I remember all the directions you used to get on being on the Thunderdome. You used to be like clap when this and then that, this is
big reactions for Asuka, guys. Big reactions. Come on, let's see those big reactions. Big thumbs up for I love that shit. I used to love it. I would type into I would go on Twitter because I would have two screens running. And if I was in the Thunderdome, every time a producer said anything, I'd be just like typing it out on Twitter just to see if people catch on.
They're telling us right now to clap it up for this.
They're telling us to cheer for this person. And the worst part was, like, if you knew and you were paying attention, you're like, oh, they're trying to, like, not just sway the audience, which I get, but they're also trying to, like, give you hints that this person might be turning soon, or you're going to be, paying attention to this one. All right, everyone, listen closely. Listen to what Sasha Banks is about to say. We like Sasha Banks, don't we? Oh, it's like, shut up, man. Stop producing us. That was always the stupidest thing about Thunderdome.
We're coming here to react to wrestling and watch wrestling. We're not coming here to be freaking paid audience that you have like a teleprompter, like clap, yeah.
I think the one thing that obviously they couldn't do, but would have been hilarious, is if they had live mics from all of these people who were in the crowd. That would have been the best and worst thing humanly possible. You would have gotten an organic reaction. You would have heard maybe some clapping, but also people's mics are shit. But also you would have heard some abhorrent shit. People would have been playing licensed music. They would have been so many trolls. So many people would have been playing the worst possible things. We saw visuals of the worst possible things.
Yeah.
So
people were going ridiculous with that. So yeah, if you gave them audio, it'd be even worse. We'll be hearing holy shit chants for like a lockup, just because they want to get off. They want to get one off on everybody. So yeah, I think it was wise that they did police the whole Thunderdome experience, because if you kind of gave it less rules, then it would have been like the Wild West, and you're kind of giving the keys to the asylum to all the maniacs there. So you don't want to do that. So good on them for that. But the reactors on social media, I think they are directly tied to what we get in regards to Sami Zayn title win versus AJ Lee return.
Now hold on, I want to go back. The Sami Zayn title reign, while it felt like it was going to happen, but also Jeremy and I sat here when we previewed that episode of SmackDown, and we thought that was just going to be the DQ finish of the week. Obviously, it wasn't like that, but we were under the impression like maybe they were going to keep going, because you still had a story with Jacob Fatu. You still had, other people going after Solo, and Sammy You could have elongated the story with Sammy and the US title, but instead they got right to it. Not saying it would have been good to do it that way, but they could have.
That Jacob Fatu story feels dead in the water after SummerSlam.
Yes, it does. But
it's over.
He never got his comeuppance. It was like Solo's gonna beat you, and then he's gonna beat you again, and nothing's gonna happen after that. Good luck. They just let it happen.
Well, Fatu got his comeuppance by helping Sammy win the title. So that story is all done. Jimmy Uso's moved on. He's moved on from this story as well. And now Jacob Fatu can move on. No sweat off his back. And the MFTs, they'll probably still be here. But
that's true. The MFTs will be here forever. The new Bloodline. Bloodline 4.0.
They don't realize that this is dead? That it's jumped the shark? They don't. Do they not realize this?
No, not with Solo. You can't jump the shark with Solo. There's no shark to jump.
This is two and a half men with Ashton Kutcher.
It's not a bad comparison. Hold on, let me get to this, and then we'll get to let me read this.
This is that 70s show without Topher Grace.
I never watched it. I watched that 70s show. I didn't watch once Topher left. I left the show too. I was done. Kim Gray sent a super chat saying, "I'll always be thankful for Thunderdome. Bo got on screen several times, dressed up as a different wrestler each time." See, that's when Thunderdome was fun. Like when the kids were having a good time and they were, getting on screen and doing that stuff. That's cool. I liked that. But overall, like the Thunderdome, it was the best thing WWE had at their disposal at the time when they couldn't do, like you said, dank PC. They wanted to have big production and make it look like people were still there. This was the best that they could do. It was making the most out of a shit sandwich. I think what AEW did was also equally smart when they went to Daly's Place and they were able to bring in pod people, like bring in fans in pods, make some money, and also still have live reactions and so on and so forth. Everyone kind of reacted differently to that time and presentation of wrestling. TNA went to the Skyway Studios for way too long, and that affected them. It was, crowdless wrestling was a time that I never want.
None of us do. It's like Swerve not in Hit Row. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. It's like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Aunt Viv became light skinned.
Viv, you look different.
It's like Martin when Martin and Gina stopped talking in real life and then they had to shoot all their scenes separately.
It's like Bill Cosby when the kids. Anyway, pod people is what I said. Pod people.
No, it's like the Cosby Show when they fired Denise.
Oh yeah, that's true. People don't like people named Denise. What can I say?
Every show kind of has that point where they stop being good, but they still want to go on for like 1 to 2 years. Like it's just, all right, you're just dragging this out. It's like Power when they killed Angela.
Power.
All the another,
Remember when Power was good? Remember when the NWA was good?
Oh, NWA Power. It's like NWA Power before they changed the theme song.
When they changed the theme song and Cornette made a comment that got everyone back on his, oh, right, this guy's a racist side.
Nah, the theme song was that was the first sign. Yeah, that was the first sign that everybody was like, yo, it's time to bail. Time to bail. They just not the same anymore.
There were 3 chapters that got rid of NWA. That was chapter 1. Chapter 2 was the Cornette incident. And chapter 3 was Dave Lagana rightfully getting booted out of wrestling.
Yeah.
And then the creative that came from it.
Incorrect, Ryan. We got a different world when Denise was still on Cosby Show. She leaves Different World after the first season of A Different World. She goes back to the Cosby Show. She in real life, Lisa Bonet did not get along with Bill Cosby. She gets fired after that return season on the Cosby Show. And the Cosby Show is never the same again. Different World got better without Denise, to be honest, but
wow,
Cosby Show is never the same without Denise.
Now, why would she not get along with Bill Cosby?
I wonder why. It's like Bill Cosby might have been doing bad stuff for longer than we thought.
Life is like Kodak film. No, sorry, that's the Simpsons Bill Cosby.
Well, no, in the chocolate pudding. But yeah.
It's a lot like the Pokemon with the anyway. We're just
It's a lot like the Pokemon
in the morning.
and
Why are we doing this? What is wrong with this show?
we're always on tangents, people. They just have to understand it.
Listen, better than Busted Open. Low bar.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Bishop Dyer said it himself.
Fantastic. Again, I haven't told you to your. Maybe I did. Great interview. We did say I said it to your face already. Great interview. Go check it out. Bishop Dyer was so much fun. The former Baron Corbin. Not only a great piece of 70 minutes, but it also upset David LaGreca from Busted Open. So now he sees it. We are coming for the crown. We're gonna get. They're gonna call it. We're gonna call it In the Weeds 24/7. They're gonna give us the channel. No Pro Wrestling Nation. The nation, it'll be one nation on weed, indivisible by God something or other. I'm Canadian. I don't know the saying.
Nation on weed. I support this message.
Listen, all I'm saying is if Sirius or some other syndicated radio entity wants to license this show and syndicate this show and pay us a tremendous amount of money, we will take it. We can be purchased.
I like the tremendous amount of money part. Yeah, for sure.
Me too. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the tremendous amount of money. That's why y'all give us super chats, to give us tremendous amounts of money that we can then go and make use of. Give us your money. All of it right now. Go into your couch cushions, shake the cushions out, give me the money that comes out of it. About to get a lot of 49-cent super chats. Anyway,
what was your favorite sitcom growing up, Joel? What did you watch on TV growing up?
What did I watched a lot of shit. That's the problem.
I remember my weekly schedule of TV watching.
Yeah,
that's how much of a TV watcher I was.
Yes, there you go. Obviously, I'm a big Simpsons fan. It's not really sitcom; it's more animated series. I was a big Simpsons fan. We watched Dinosaurs. Remember Dinosaurs on ABC?
Oh, that was my jam. You ain't even have to ask me that. Once you said Dinosaurs, I was going pop. I was like, oh, that's the lineup right there. That's the TGIF lineup at one point as well, because I used to watch Dinosaurs and then Family Matters. And I always used to say that the dad from Dinosaurs is just the dinosaur version of Carl Winslow.
Oh, absolutely. But worked in a quarry instead of a cop.
Exactly.
Yeah. They were listen, a lot of the tropes were the same. Full House. I was watching Full House.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was part of the. I don't know if I was part of the kids that grew up and realized Bob Saget could be such a foul mouth. I was kind of like, I saw it coming. Maybe, I don't know.
No, yeah. I think it was when I got older. I watched like Entourage, and he was like one of the recurring characters on Entourage, and he would just be cursing up a storm. We're like, is that Bob fucking Saget? Like, really talking like this? Like, for real? So yeah, that was but he wasn't one of my favorites on the show. My actual favorite probably was Steve. Because he just used to eat. He just used to be high and eat.
Good for Steve. Someone saying, Ryan saying I was a step-by-step person. I wasn't. I would never really enjoyed step-by-step. I watched, like we said, Family Matters, Full House, Home Improvement. I see Grays in the chat mentioning Home Improvement. I watched that.
Yeah.
And then I found out he's a big piece of shit. Who else? A bunch of them. I got to look it up. Like, what was I watching?
Married with Children is another one shouted out in the chat. Did you watch Married with Children?
Kind of.
Sunday night. Well, that was on the Simpsons on Fox. That was Sunday night. That was Sunday nights. That used to be on in that block.
I wasn't really.
Married with Children was so good that it had variants. You remember Happily Ever After?
Yeah.
On WB, that was like the only white show on WB. WB had a rotation of nothing but black shows and just one white show to get that audience. It was hilarious. They used to do it where they only would go like one season with the white show, and then they would have a new white show on WB, and they would have it hidden in between everything. It's so funny. But I remember WB when it first started, when it had Steve Harvey show, Wayne's Brothers. I still remember the Wayne's Brother pilot when that went down. Jamie Foxx show was another classic on the WB. Happily Ever After was one that I used to watch. Then you had UPN, which had Moesha. and Homeboys in Outer Space, which had one of my favorite theme songs of all time. Shout out to you, Cyclops, Better Than Wolverine. Yes, New York Undercover. New York Undercover was that jam. That was my Thursday nights. My Thursday nights was the Fox block of Martin, Living Single, which was the original Friends. I've tried to tell this to Jeremy before, that he needs to watch Living Single if you watch Friends. It's just the black version and the original version of Friends, Living Single. And yeah, New York Undercover was, I think, the final show of that block, and I used to watch that every Thursday.
What was the animated show on Fox where there was the superintendent of the building?
The PJs.
It was the PJs. Yeah.
PJs. Living in the projects, living in the PJs. No, Eddie Murphy, yo, probably his greatest contribution to television.
That was an Eddie
I'm sorry
show?
for you SNL fans. Huh?
That was an Eddie show.
Yeah, that was Eddie Murphy. He was the voice of the Super.
Right. I remember it was a whole like he or one of the like great comedy dudes at that time were the ones behind it. So if it was Eddie, that's good. Boy Meets World, obviously, another one.
Boy Meets World's a classic. Who was your favorite character from Boy Meets World?
Oh God, probably was it Sean?
Mine was Sean.
Eric, yeah, because he was the big brother and he was always
because he was hilarious.
He was dumb.
It's because it's hilarious, because just out of nowhere, like midway through like season 3 or 4, they just turned him into a dumbass. It's because he was normal for like 3 seasons. Like, I remember the end of season 3, they made a whole big deal. Him and Corey were going through it because he was going off to college. Then he finds out he's not able to go off to college, so they make plans to go and travel together as brothers and stuff. I was like, yo, they were actually doing some emotional depth to him. And then they just decided one season, it was like, nah, he's going to be a dummy.
That's the way to do it. Why is this person calling me? I'm not picking it up right now. Perfect Strangers. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers was like early my TV viewing. I used to watch that because it had my homie Serge from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
I reckon if I recognize you from something else that I watched and I like, then I'm gonna at least give you a shot. I've tried out so many different shows that like failed after like 1 or 2 seasons, mainly because I saw an actor that I knew from another show.
Obviously, I like Saved by the Bell. Was another one.
Yes. Who's your favorite character from that?
I don't know. I think I just like the ensemble. I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, everyone had something that I liked about them and something that I maybe disliked about them. Whether that's like Kelly was too popular, but she had a good heart, or like Zach Morris, he eventually would do the right thing, but at least he was trying. Like, I know it's always
Zach Morris is trash.
I know, but like there was always something, again, a redeeming quality and a not so redeeming quality about them. Like Slater was a giant meathead, but again, like he was. He's passionate about protecting his friends, things like that. So there were different characters that I liked for different reasons. I never like gravitated towards one. It's kind of, I'm like that with wrestling too, where it's like, I don't like a specific character. I kind of equally either like or dislike them for similar reasons or opposites. So yeah, because I view television differently. I view the characters as, you know, how deep do they go? Not how much can I like them for who they are right in front of me.
That's
how
fair.
hot are they?
That's fair. Growing up, I was a Zach fan. As I got older and realized that he is trash, my favorite character is Lisa.
Because she was just on her face, she was shallow, but damn, at least she owned it.
She was honest about it. Like, yeah, she kept it real. Like, she was the realest of the crew. So that's who I related to the most.
Do you watch Golden Girls?
I've watched it. Not recently to like be remembering everything. Like,
you know what I used to watch because I'm old? I'd watch reruns of All in the Family.
I did too. Yeah, I used to watch Nick at Night like religiously. Nick at Night used to be my thing, and I watched All in the Family, Happy Days.
Never got into that.
Yeah, I got into Happy Days heavy because I used to be right around when I used to go to sleep, and I used to have that on, and I used to go to sleep too, just watching an episode of Happy Days. That's where I got the reference of jumping the shark and where it started from Happy Days.
That's why, I mean, everyone figured it out from that, right?
Yeah, because he actually jumped the shark.
That's right. PBS shows. I used to watch Ghost Rider when I was a kid.
Ooh, Ghost Rider. That was a good one. PBS, Mr. Rogers, of course, when I was a little kid. Was that the same station that had Sesame Street too?
PBS aired Sesame Street for many years. Now it's going to YouTube. They're doing the vault.
Wow, for real?
Yeah, because it's not like they can get money. Well, they moved to Max, I think, for a while, and then the Max contract expired, or wherever they were, that contract expired, and they were like, we can't go back to PBS because PBS just got basically cut from all funding. So Sesame Workshop announced, I think last week, that they are going to be putting their footage on YouTube. They're going to be putting stuff on YouTube along with episodes, full episodes, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, shout out to Sesame Street. Love Sesame Street.
Interesting.
Did you watch You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, I was a big Snick. That was my Saturday night, was Snick. It was Are You Afraid of the Dark? All that. Keenan and Kel. Yeah. I remember my cousin Skeeter. That was one of my favorites, my low-key favorites when I was a kid. My cousin Skeeter. My Brother and Me at one point was on Snick. I'm trying to remember all the shows that were on Snick at one point. The Secret World of Alex Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend whose name was Alex Mack. Well, her name, I'm not going to dox her, but she was an MC Mack. So she called herself Alex Mack. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Ross Hull from
like you could turn into Puddles. Oh my God. This is awesome.
So from Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm Facebook friends with Ross Hull, who played the nerdier guy, and he became a weatherman. He works for the Weather Network here in Canada, or at least he used to. He's been around. Like I don't know why we're Facebook friends. I think we met at an event for my school, like when I was in university, and became Facebook friends. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. You're nice, but we're still Facebook friends. He's got a partner. He's got 2 big dogs, and he's happy. He's happy.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Ross. He's so happy to just be living and doing his job.
Hey man, Are You Afraid of the Dark is a classic. That's a classic show right there.
It was.
Action League Now. Yes, I remember that with the toys. They're like that basically was the origin story for Team America. Basically, Team America came from Action League Now and Kablam on all that.
Should we talk about professional wrestling?
I'm having fun going down memory lane, but I'm sure some person comes on here 45 minutes in and says, why aren't you guys talking about wrestling?
It's been 45 minutes. This is a wrestling podcast. I'm so angry. We're gonna come back to the other conversation. AJ Lee tells everyone to go to therapy because she did, and I think she's right. Shout out to AJ Lee. Comes back. I'm gonna get your thoughts on the actual return because we haven't had you on the show since Friday, but she's back. She came back last night on Raw, made her Raw return, her first promo back, and effectively said, "Hey, I went away. I did a lot of therapy, did a lot of mental health journeying, and I'm back because Becky Lynch touched my husband inappropriately, and now I want to fight her. And that's good enough for me because now we're going to do a tag match at Wrestlepalooza." That's the Cole's notes of it. Really, it's all about therapy and how much people need to actively seek it if you're available and can, and don't do the online therapy that people keep telling you about on the podcast. Do a proper one. Find one in your city that actually you can either go to or telecommute to. Do a proper therapy journey. I promise you, 7 years in, I can tell you it's been great. The crowd chanted therapy. They should be chanting. They should be chanting it, but they should also be taking the advice if they haven't already. Becky Lynch needs therapy too. Your thoughts?
Apparently, after last night's segment, she does. But this was an absolutely excellent segment, and I love the fact that AJ Lee used her return promo to be an advocate for mental health, like using your time on WWE that have made no bones or any secrets about where they align in their politics and in their mind state and what they believe in. And AJ Lee's entire promo is nothing that WWE would ever want to be said, but because AJ Lee has some power coming back into the company after a 10-year absence, this is her return promo. I love the fact that she talked about her mental health journey, talked about the importance of it. They didn't mistreat it or mistreat the word therapy. When the heel used it, they used it in the proper way. So the babyface was able to be like, I can give you some suggestions. This just played out so well. I thought AJ Lee handled the moment very well. She was poised. She allowed an honest kind of open dialogue with the audience, kind of answering calls from the audience at different points during her promo. I thought that she was, for someone who's been away from the business for 10 years, you would have never seen it, never noticed it, because like they said before Friday, she looks like she's been off TV. She hasn't been off TV for like a day. And then she comes out here, she cuts a promo, she knows how to handle herself. She's always been great on the mic, but this was a reminder of just how good AJ Lee is. And the segment on Friday, the return was fantastic as well. Because I said it before, like one of my bigger regrets for the now infamous Sports Illustrated list of the 10 greatest WWE women's wrestlers of all time is that AJ Lee was left out of the top 10. I made her an honorable mention only because her time period within WWE was so short. And it's very comparable to Alundra Blaze, and I let my kind of nostalgia of Alundra Blaze pick her over AJ for the number 10 spot. But they had very short runs within WWE. But I would make the argument that out of the 10 people that I listed on that list, AJ Lee's peak is higher than more than half. Like the peak of where she was able to hit. And that's kind of like, it's debatable in regards to like what you value more, like being great for a long amount of time or having the highest peak of success and greatness. So AJ Lee is up there in regards to highest peak. And I thought that was handled very well with everything they do here, but I would be amiss if I didn't compliment the real star of this whole program, the real star of this current storyline. It's Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is just a ridiculously incredible heel. Like, she may be one of the greatest female baby faces in pro wrestling history, but she is the rare case of she is also one of the greatest heels in women's wrestling history. She just knows how to be justifiably annoying, getting under the skin of not just the person that she's talking to, but the audience that we remember. If you remember Raw after WrestleMania, when she first turned heel, this is an audience that cheered her heel turn. For a second time in her career, they cheered the heel turn. They were telling her one more time when she was hitting manhandle slams. Now she gets the biggest boost possible for one of her now new catchphrases of "I'm the greatest of all time." And it's not just me saying it. Other people say it. Sports Illustrated says it. And I got like the most heat of this whole entire segment, and it put the biggest smile on my face as she's doing it. She is justifiably the GOAT, and it's for a reason. She has elevated this entire program. This program feels like the biggest thing going into Wrestlepalooza. It's been the best built. It feels like the biggest thing. They are just knocking this out the park between the promo last week with Becky and Punk, the return of AJ on SmackDown, and last night's segment where I thought everybody was great. Even Seth, who I've been very critical on, especially on these Tuesday episodes, but I thought he was good in last night's segment as well. So hats off to everyone involved.
Yeah, this is one thing with Seth that I give him credit for in this particular feud. He came out, yeah, they did the music, but he just came out, got right to business. He was a pissed off heel. He wasn't playing to the audience and doing "I am a visionary" and getting the reaction that a babyface would normally get as he's a bad guy. Instead, he, like I said, he came down, he got down to business. He did the bad things that the heel's supposed to do. And I think Becky has had an effect on him in that way. It's like, we got to think about how to get the crowd really hating us and really loving Punk and AJ. Because remember, the thing with Punk is that there's still a loud swath of the audience that like they love Punk, but there's still a swath that doesn't, for whatever reason you can think of. So now you can't let that swath of the audience dislike AJ as well because she's connected to Punk. Now you have to use two people, and again, I mentioned this on other shows, diametrically opposed. That's the way it has to be in wrestling, or that's the way it should be when you're telling a story like this. Opposites. Two people who are hated, two people who are loved. And yeah, listen, like, you respect to Becky and Seth for the work that they're doing, and respect to them for getting this over, but also respect to them for being pieces of shit and committing to being those people. And now AJ and Punk can very happily be the smoochy couple, welcome back AJ, that everyone's going to get behind and love. And that makes this in service of everything we're working on. Now, instead, we're going to get, I'm much closer now than I was on Friday, where we talked about where does this place versus the John Cena Brock Lesnar match. I think, like you had mentioned, Cena and Lesnar open the show. And I think this is now the main event. I think the AJ and Punk tag match is the main event. There's no reason for it not to be. Seth and Punk have been the fall storyline. They've been the summer through fall. I mean, they've been throughout Punk's return. He's been always attached somewhere to Seth, but now this is like, we're deep in it. And this is the time that they can really hop in and let this play out. And this is the main event for this show, in my opinion. Let John Cena get beat up by, they'll do an hour. They've shown you in Paris that they can do an hour-long gimmick.
Yeah.
And go from there. So they'll do an hour-long thing, do stretch it out Cena, and then we'll refocus the show. That's why
they're not going to stretch her out Cena, because Cena got to do perf.
No, but Perth's not for like 3 weeks afterwards.
So what? They're going to stretch him out and just nuke the whole impact of Roman's stretcher job from the month prior?
Oh, dude, that doesn't matter. We're doing moments, SP3. You know how this works.
It's all about the moments, man. But no, you are right. These are the two top draws for Wrestlepalooza, which feels bigger than any show has felt since like WrestleMania. And it feels kind of bigger than WrestleMania, if we're being on this year's WrestleMania, at least. But yeah, I think they've done a great job of making this feel like the huge show that they wanted to be. Make this program feel like the biggest mixed tag team matchup that they can ever be. I like that, AJ's explanation of why she came back, like you said, seeing Becky motorboat her husband, upset her to the point that she had to show up for SmackDown. I like Becky getting so irate she accidentally takes off her glasses and reveals that she has a black eye from AJ beating her ass on SmackDown. And then she puts on the glasses like, get on my face, Stu!
It was very well done. The crowd, Vargov mentioned, the crowd chanting chicken, and then she does the chicken wings. I'm not a chicken. I'm not a chicken.
I'm not a chicken. And Seth came out. You said Seth was pissed. I didn't even think that Seth was pissed. Seth was more like, he has those moments, and these moments. Jeremy knows these moments where your wife is upset, and you have to be upset for your wife. And you have to.
He's exactly
all right. I'll handle it. I'll handle it. I said I'll handle it. So like that's how he kind of felt in this segment, which was quite relatable. I enjoyed it a lot.
He was like, oh, God damn it. Fine. He's just exasperated. We've all been there. You're right. No, this was very well done. I think this story has legs. They've been showing it. Honestly, we're a week and a half out. We've got 3 TVs left until we get to the show. SmackDown, Raw, and SmackDown.
I don't think they're going to be on SmackDown again this week.
I don't know, but you've got 3 TVs where they could plausibly show up. We don't know where they'll be, but let's say they do 2 out of the 3. You got to do one where the heels go on top, and you got to AJ Lee's got to get beat down and taken out or whatever it is, and then that'll be a good heat segment, as long as they might have to get a little heavy handed with it, but we'll see where they go. Don't bring out the blocks though. Don't bring out the bricks. Just wait on the bricks. Hang out with those.
I didn't see what you guys said yesterday because I know that Jeremy was one person who was kind of adamant. He didn't think that they should show AJ Lee. They should basically be like AJ Lee, this set up the tag team matchup without her actually appearing, because we kind of made the similar argument that seeing AJ Lee should be the draw, not just seeing her wrestle for the first time, which is the route that they have chosen to go on. Are you kind of disappointed that they went that route? And do you think that this is kind of the route that they should have chosen in retrospect?
Not at all disappointed. I said yesterday that it was the right choice, and I know we did vacillate on which side would work better. I saw Jeremy's point. Like, I fully understood why you'd want to tease it out until the event, but like you did the thing. You heavily handedly mentioned it was happening. You basically filled a 16,000 seat arena on a rumor, and it feels like Punk's been he's been a part of something like that before. And if you don't deliver on that rumor, well, then you give up a lot in fan service. You give up a lot of fan interest. So you had to do it, which is not, WWE was not forcing anyone's hand. They were very clearly hinting at it. They were very clearly putting it out there. I know people keep talking about the WWE shop bot, and the shop reply. That, I believe, was a bot who was just reading, doing the chat GPT thing and replying as such. Some people were thinking, oh, someone got fired over that. Like, no, you can't fire robots, unfortunately. I wish you could. No. But no, it was a bot thing.
They'll be taking over soon enough.
They will be. They've already gotten us. Anyway, the point is the debut is the return, whatever you want to call it. It made perfect sense. You had to. Chicago was the right spot. Yeah. The crowd was hot. They sold all those tickets. And again, I give you the moment. The moment merchants that they are, as you call them, this was the moment that they needed. They had a poor showing the last couple of weeks on SmackDown. SmackDown hasn't been a very hot show. They spent most of SmackDown on two things: John Cena and AJ Lee. Everything else,
and it was the best episode of SmackDown in months.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they are at a place where like you gotta rely on John Cena, who's leaving in 3 months, and AJ Lee, who's coming back after a 10-year hiatus. Granted, as many have pointed out, she's 38. She can very clearly go as if she continues to and wants to. But at the same time, you've got so much talent underneath trying and clawing their way and trying to get at least some modicum of popularity, but they're not getting those opportunities. At one point, money has to go to the side to build for your future. And I'm wondering when that starts, because WWE has a problem with that.
I don't know when it starts, and it seems like the women's division, I think, are set for the future. I have much more faith in the women's division in the future than I do for the men's division, because as we see, if you're an NXT fan every Tuesday, that men's division is not looking the best. There's Obafemi, there's Ricky Saints, there's Trick Williams, there's Javon Evans, there's Wesley, and that's about it. And those guys are not all of them are going to become main event talents on the main roster. So you have to be like, hey, what is the future looking like? So then you have to look at the main roster, and you got your Braun Breakers, you got your Jacob Fatus, you got your Dominic Mysterios, but those three guys, I don't know if they're going to be enough to kind of have a big bowstring star, big star kind of main event scene that they have established over the last couple of years under Triple H. So they got to get on the ball in regards to building towards the future. The women's division, there's no doubt about it. You got Rhea Ripley, you got Stephanie Vaquer, you got Julia, you got all these new stars that you brought in, plus the stars who have already been established are pretty young, that they have 5, maybe 6, maybe even 10 years left in them to still perform at a high level, like Io Sky or Bianca Belair. But the men's division, that's where I worry. I worry for WWE a lot.
Yeah, I'm curious how they get these, what do you call it? How they get these characters out. How they get these characters to be deeper in the men's division. The women's division, it feels like they are finding ways to give deeper meaning to some of these characters. There's like, again, Kiana James, what is she? You kind of wonder, and Julia too. Some of the mid card, you're like, what is this? So at least like a Chelsea Green, I'm seeing a deeper character. Rhea Ripley, you've gone on a huge kind of journey and understanding with. So there is time with those people. But yeah, with the men, if Braun Breaker is your next guy, he's got to be more than a Steiner. He's got to be more than guy who forgets his words and gets upset and then starts to walk down the aisle as a hothead. There's got to be more to it. Bronson Reed, you got something with him. He's still an older dude, but like you've got something with him that you need to figure out because he's a cool guy. In NXT, people really liked him because he was so cool. But now that he's a bad guy, it's like you got to do a little more than just be like, I'm a big guy who can splash you and bust up your insides. There's got to be more to it than that. And that's the problem is you need deeper levels of character.
Bronson Reed carried that opening promo last night because Braun Breaker, it's part of his character to like get so irate, so upset that he starts messing up in the promo and then wants to run down and beat someone up and stuff. And it's funny, but it doesn't make for the most like engaging and gripping promos to get into. Whereas Bronson Reed has a message. He's very concise with it. He delivers it in a small amount of time and he gets it over and it gets reactions now, especially him being like, acknowledge your tribal thief. That got a big reaction from that crowd last night. And he's gained the most from the Vision. I think that the Vision, being in the Vision was supposed to do a lot for Braun Breaker, and we thought it would do a lot for him when he first joined up with them on the Raw after WrestleMania. But all it's done is kind of reaffirm that he's the future of the business, but they haven't really kind of shown all the way how he's going to get there in the next couple of years. Whereas Bronson Reed has went from a guy that would have got like a short couple of month push to a guy that I could see main eventing a PLE if they continue on the path that they're on with like the tribal thief stuff, with his promo work, with his poise in the ring. He was good in the main event against LA Knight as well. So yeah, I'm liking what the Vision has gotten out of Bronson Reed. He's been the real big winner out of the group.
Paul loves Bronson Reed. He always did. He was his boy in NXT. And when he got brought up and treated the way he was first time around and then fired, that upset Paul. That was one of the first people he called and was just like, no, we fix this shit right now. Miz, go get a briefcase, put thousands of dollars in it. We're going to go bring back Bronson Reed. And that's how it worked. But you could tell like they were waiting for a time. And again, he got injured doing the splash off the cage at War Games, and that put him out for a spell. He was already on the ascent. They were doing big things with Bronson Reed because they really saw something in him. And he is so personable and he is so good in the ring. He deserves the opportunities. It's again finding that depth to the character and just adding on to it. I've had the chance to do interviews with him back in 23 in Montreal. Such not just a nice dude, but well spoken, very eloquent, very easy to be in a room with. He's a big motherfucker. And he's good. Listen, and he dresses to the nines too. He's a beautiful dresser. But he's a guy that I haven't seen the apex of his abilities yet. And that's a good thing. I want to see him get there. Someone in the chat had mentioned Javon Evans, by the way. This is something that I like about Javon is that he is authentic. With Javon Evans, he has that ability to be himself and not have to change in his character. And I think that people gravitate towards, I know people gravitate towards someone like that. For those reasons, I think he has a huge potential, huge upside. Not only is he good at the wrestling, because part of the deal, but like you put him on the microphone, there's part of you that's like, yeah, sometimes you have to listen a little bit closer because he tends to, he's got that drawl, right? He's got that way of speaking that you're just like, wait, what did he say? But also it's just him. He's not expected to go and like learn how to speak white. And it's like, no, you don't do that shit. Be yourself. And he's been getting over being himself. It's great.
He gotta get on his either Seth Rollins or Kyle Fletcher regiment if he wants to be a main eventer on the main roster. Because I'm sorry. We just know the history of this company. It's not
Sure.
that we are judging them based on what we view. In my view, I think Javon Evans is a perfectly athletic, healthy. He has a physique that I'm jealous of. I would love the physique that he has, but unfortunately for the pro wrestling business and for WWE specifically, he got to get some weight on him, or he ain't gonna be a main eventer anytime soon.
Yeah, I got to bulk up, right? But but like Vaquer was saying, he's tall, and
He
that's
is.
that's part of the reason
And
why.
that was the same thing with Seth. That's why I said Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins was really skinny when he gets called up to the main roster a year, like less than a year after he signs with the company. But he had to bulk up to even get to that point to where he was given the WWE championship, and then he's bulked up even more since then. So, like I said, just got to get some bulk in.
Tell you what, I will take one for the team. I'm gonna go to Florida. I'm gonna send him a message and just be like, "Hey, what's your favorite Chinese food joint? What's your favorite Chinese food buffet? I'll take you every single day for the next 3 to 5 months. Whatever you need, we're going." And I will eat Chinese food. I will eat bottomless Chinese food buffet with him every single day until he bulks up or bulks out. I don't care. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
He'll have fun with it too. If he tells me he loves sushi, I'll eat a lot of sushi. We'll do it. Anything for Javon. I'll get so fat so fast. No, I'll do it.
But you also got to work out at the PC, so you'll get.
I'm doing that shit. Told you I'm taking bullet, not helping myself. What are you doing?
I'm taking the bullet. I'm taking the bullet here. I'm getting free Chinese.
Will Chisholm saying Jimmy would tell him go work with Randy Kidd. Is this a bunch of what?
Go work with Randy.
Jimmy Macro? Jimmy Macro would tell him?
Yeah, Jimmy Macro definitely would say that. Go work with Randy Kidd. Randy's got some stuff for you. He wants all these people that he hates in AEW to just get on the Kyle Fletcher regimen, because he went from hating Kyle Fletcher to now he's a fan of Kyle Fletcher just because he looks like he thinks he takes steroids.
Yeah,
that's why I said he thinks he did. I'm not saying he did. He thinks he did.
Right. Listen, man.
I told y'all that man Kyle Fletcher been eating kangaroos for the last 6 months.
Eating them and fighting them. He fights them until they lie down, and then he eats them.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish that's how it worked in the jungle. They do.
They call it roadkill possum. Something like that.
I feel like it's illegal to eat kangaroo in Australia. Maybe not. Maybe not.
It is a national treasure, isn't it?
I don't think they're a national. I think they're a national problem. It's the koalas that are syphilis infused. That's the problem.
Ah, that makes sense.
Damn syphilitic koalas. It's not illegal. There we go. It's not the Tuma. What do you think of Jey Uso? Speaking of character death, end of the main event, Jey Uso spears LA Knight. Kind of comes off as like, to me, originally it came off as now we're even. But
yeah,
there's a little bit more in there, because earlier, Jimmy's looking for his brother. He says, we got to go help out, run the play with LA Knight. And he's like, nah, we're good. And he kind of had that, like, just kind of that I don't care part to him. The laissez-faire.
Yeah. He was like, nah. He was like, what we need to do is smash them, stack them, and make them acknowledge us. I was like, oh shit. And then Jimmy just said exactly what I was thinking. He was like, you're starting to sound like Roman. He was like, maybe sounding like me, wasn't working. And dips on out, and then, like you said, at the end, gives the spear to LA Knight. I viewed it similar to you as like, he's still the babyface. He just got his lick back. And then I woke up to like 1,000 different YouTube channels and different websites as like Jey Uso shocking heel turn. I was like, wait, what did I miss? What did I miss? Did I miss something here? Like, that's not what I got from this.
Could it be the start of him getting an edge? Yeah, sure. You can make that argument, but people being like, no, it's a heel turn. It's like, no, it's not. It's not a heel turn. This is him. He and LA Knight hated each other for weeks. They didn't want to team up together, but LA got him into a tag team match, a few weeks back. This was just him doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I just say I don't understand why people got that. You can say start of heel turn or slow burn Jey Uso heel turn, something like that, but like, yeah, I didn't view it as a heel turn. I have liked the interactions between Jey Uso and LA Knight. And I have liked over the last couple of weeks the story they've been telling with Jey Uso, who has basically been acting like Roman Reigns has been like the devil on his shoulder, who is telling him to be more selfish, to basically do stuff for yourself, which led to him giving the super kick to LA Knight and CM Punk, which led to Jey Uso kind of fighting back against the other baby faces despite them trying to work together during Clash in Paris, thus LA Knight feeling like Jey Uso was the reason why they all lost at Clash in Paris, which caused the issues between them last week. Plus, he had to watch his cousin get beat down by the Braun Stars and stretchered out of the building at the same time. So I like the fact that we're seeing some other stories being made, because it felt for like the last 2 months or so that the only good story that they had going on was the Io Sky and Asuka stuff. But now we got AJ Lee back, and we got the AJ Lee and Punk versus Seth and Becky, which has been the best thing on the show the last 2 weeks. Then you got this whole Jey Uso story, which I thought they did a really good job of. Like, me and you, this is one thing that we do agree on, that we do both like in wrestling, is that we love a good show long narrative. And that's what we got last night with the whole Jey Uso story, with him starting off the show with him and Jimmy with the promo segment, where I didn't realize this before. I didn't realize this the first time, but I think it's because I've had to deal with 2 years of for one word, 4 letters, eat promos, that Jimmy is so much better than Jey on promos. My God,
you finally got there, huh?
Yeah, like I didn't realize it when they were together last time, but now I see it because they were separated for 2 years and then brought back together, and then Jimmy's doing the whole promo and doing all the fast like dozens and snapping jokes at Paul Heyman. I'm like, Jimmy's the better on the mic.
Go back.
I didn't know that.
Go back and watch. I know we all gave shit to the lockdown, and then they do the stupid AR effect. Go back and watch those promos. It was Jimmy. Jimmy was always the dude, and it's so funny because Jey broke Jimmy, because at one point he came out and just said like his walrus looking ass, and that just took him out of the promo completely. They had a couple of those last night, which like it was very funny. But yeah, it's Jey was never the promo guy. Jey was always good at being like humble, down to earth, like relatable guy. Jimmy wasn't being vulnerable to let himself out like that as a character. Jey was always good at being that guy, and that's why he got this spot that he's in. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but like, you notice that the colors that Jay's wearing, you notice that everything's becoming a little more muted. It's more grays, it's more black, more dark red. The fancy big ass colors gone. We're going into tribal J mode is what we're doing. So there's definitely a story there.
And by the way, the Mun J t-shirts and the lines by commentary absolutely stink. It's not good. It's not good. Thank you. Like, I thought I was the only one that was just I know people gonna be like, oh, he just hating. I'm just like, no, this is not good.
No, I saw it, and I was like,
it's not cute.
I was like, I see what you're doing, but it's corny. And I watched
corny as hell.
And I watch TNA, so I know corny. I get it. So this is what we get to deal with. Monday Night Raw. Why would you? I don't know. But instead, they, this looks like for Jey, it's the beginning, or at least has been the beginnings of him gaining that edge. And you know what? If this is in service of maybe Jimmy getting his spot, and Jimmy starting to build a character that puts him, that elevates him, I could see that. And when that happens, I really look forward to bringing on someone like Adam Barnard, who we had on when the Jey Uso story was really developing, and he was, explaining the psychoanalyst in him was explaining what this was. I look forward to bringing him back with the Jey story, and if it turns into Jey and Jimmy again, and what that looks like. I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
we have someone here. Hello.
Look at this guy.
Couldn't stay away, huh?
Hey, I gotta show up and at least, say hi and make my, appearance fee and everything. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you have an appearance fee on this channel.
I let everybody know that I'm also alive after yesterday. So
valid.
Yeah. So, and I owe you an apology, Joel, because I'm having you do this show on your anniversary, and I'm sorry about that.
It's
Happy
okay. anniversary. Thanks.
Yes, I'm very sorry that I was like, "Can you do the show tomorrow?" And I shouldn't have done that. I should have done the show today and tried to take off a different day. So I'm sorry.
No, nothing to be sorry. First of all, my wife's working too, so we're gonna go after this show. We're gonna go have lunch down the street. We'll be okay. Don't you worry about us. But I appreciate you saying it.
Okay. Well, again, I apologize. Hello, everybody. Thank you to everybody who checked in yesterday. I got some nice messages from people who were just like, hope you're doing okay, and had some conversations, and I appreciate it. Yesterday wasn't great. I'm trying to not do anything today, but then I look and I see and I'm like, shit, there's stuff to do.
There's always stuff to do.
Yeah. What can
Just
you do?
keep on compiling that stuff, Jeremy.
Just keep compiling.
Keep compiling all that info.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing well. We actually have to act like we like each other. I told the story of how we worked you the other day.
Story.
Oh yeah.
I
was concerned. I was legitimately concerned.
It was our on-screen banter that gave you the depression you're currently battling.
Nah, you guys are like the least of my issues with everything. So honestly.
Oh, Vala, fuck you, man. I use this joke too often. Superman does good. You're doing well. Damn it. I'm too professional for my own good. Damn it.
I'm doing fine. That's how I'm doing. Shout out to AJ Lee and her promo last night. I know you put that in the headline as well, but shout out to AJ Lee and getting therapy chance, and everybody should go to therapy.
Did you see WWE the tweet that they posted with that? It was, in this house we cheer for therapy, and I was like, the fuck you do?
Yeah. Do they offer like a mental health services in WWE? I know. Go ahead, Joel.
No, I said, you know what? That's something that I would ask about. Yeah. I know that AEW did. And I think that's where you were about to go.
Yeah.
One time we had a friend who was doing that. And AEW still offers it. They just offer a different therapy options.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I think it'd be good if AEW did, or both, honestly. But if WWE offered that kind of professional help, or at least even if like they don't have someone in house, if they are like covering it for somebody, because I do understand maybe you don't want to have someone in house who like has to deal with all of these wrestler problems. That might be a little bit of an undertaking for that person, and not everybody is comfortable with the same person. Like, this is, I don't even want to use name as an example, but like if wrestler A is talking to a person about wrestler B, and wrestler B is also going to this therapist, then that might get a little dicey. So I think if they offer at least to cover it, to go to the provider you feel comfortable with, I think that would at least be good.
I see Vala mentioning that at one point they were giving people mental health breaks. It's one thing to offer, it's another thing to take them up on it. And especially in a business where you're afraid that if you go, your spot goes with you. That's the game you play, especially when you have, one of the EVPs of WWE saying that they're up until 4 a.m. sending emails and they don't like vacation replies and all that shit. Like, if there's a company mentality about mental health and taking breaks, if that follows all the way down to the wrestlers, then yeah, if the talent can't, or feel like they can't take it, then they don't take it. That's why my hope is that there is some sort of on-scene or virtual therapy opportunities for them, something that they can use, that if they're not taking time off for whatever reason, there's at least some sort of support to keep them level as they're going through it.
You also have to understand that this is a place that, like you kind of mentioned it, you touched on it, but like, this is a place, a business, professional wrestling, and this company specifically, they award you for how much you're willing to go through to perform. Like if you perform with a bad knee, if you got a broken neck and you perform. A lot of people would credit Cody wrestling with the torn pec of why he's able to be where he is today in WWE. So like, yeah, they can offer for you to take a mental health break, but they also have put basically a mentality out there in the company where you should be able to fight through that. You should that shouldn't be the thing that makes you miss a day.
Yeah, and I know that's gotten a little bit better of if you are banged up or you just need time off, you can take it. But as Joel was saying, it's like, who's taking the time off? Who feels comfortable taking the time off? And are they just willing to do that? Are they willing to just say like, no, I'm fine. I can get through this and it'll be okay. But certainly when it comes to mental health, it's not that I know, not that I'm smart enough to do it, but when you need to take time off and unplug from everything, you should just probably do that.
Yeah. And Vala, you're better than that. That's not every corporate job. Every corporate job, in fact, has PTO and stuff like that. That basically entrenches that and gives you basically incentive on taking a day off. WWE is not that. Stop comparing every corporate job to WWE.
Or you can be the idiot that I used to. Well, not idiot, but the worker that I used to be when I worked in corporate was to take that PTO and to cash it out, because instead of our PTO was paid back. So if you didn't take it, you would get paid out on it. So I'd be like, well, I don't need it, so am I taking it? And that's what I did. And then I would just work jobs for 3 years, burn out, and then go to the next place. So, hey, everyone's different. Take your time off. If you like what you're doing and you want to keep doing it, take the time off. Otherwise, 3 years is maybe your exit row right there.
I'm gonna honor Ken Bruno here and do the PTO. There we go.
We're gonna get that interview real quick. Don't worry.
Mercedes?
Oh yeah,
Mercedes on
she loves talking to the dirt sheets. Her Cope, big dirt sheet fans.
I actually think like Mercedes is kind of okay with it if she's doing a character, but like I'd want her as the character, so that's completely fine. So I think Mercedes is not used to doing interviews. She does a fair number of interviews, but yeah, it's usually like
legitimate,
reputable.
Not our fiddly asses.
Yeah, not our dumbass show,
Honestly, she might like our dumbass show more because we just talk about dumb shit.
Yeah, we don't care about this. Like, what's your contract status?
Talking about the Boston Celtics for the whole interview.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, exactly. Be like, what do you think of the Celtics' chances this year? And Jason Tatum, is he the most fraudulent NBA champion of all time? We'll definitely talk about Boston sports and stuff. I'm gonna try to get a person who's never appeared on this show before, but
so that is a wide net you're casting, my friend.
But who has been referenced by myself and other guests many times. I'm gonna try to get him when
John Cena. My God, you're really aiming high.
Once I say this part, like NXT's coming to Cleveland in about a month. They're going to Agora. That's where I saw clips. So I'm gonna try to get an NXT talent on the show. Might be NXT champion by then. We'll see.
Oh, I'm all about it. I know exactly who it is, and it has to happen.
Tony D'Angelo.
Like a thief in the night.
No.
Just imagine if we got JC Jane on the show. Joel's just fawning, being like, "Your match against Masha Slamovich was the greatest match of all time."
The first one, not the second one, but the first one.
Yeah, the second one was top 5, but the first one was the greatest match of all time.
No, listen, I got to be honest. Second one, dog shit. First one, what went into that? Take us back. March us through every single moment of this match. Here, let's put it up on screen. Put it up on screen.
Did you, when you got to the back, did you get the standing ovation and popping champagne of like we just made history out there?
It was TNA, of course it was.
We had the
It was
greatest
TNA
match
Impact.
ever.
It was Impact.
Felix Skipper cage walk, Styles, Joe, Daniels, triple threat, Jane Slamovich won.
When they release the book, it's going to be right there.
Top 3 goats.
That's the Mount Rushmore of TNA moments in history. I don't have a fourth. Fuck having a fourth one.
No, you don't need a fourth.
We're just going 3.
That's right. Oh, yeah, no, that's it. There you go. Looking forward to talking to JC Jane.
All right, I'm gonna say goodbye and get some stuff done around the house, and maybe play some NBA 2K or something. Oh, rate my team, everybody. Who cares about wrestling? Rate my team. I did a fantasy draft. Modern day fantasy draft, long term. All right, so think of this in terms of long term as well. And then I'll make Ryan Lambert happy. I'm using the Charlotte Hornets. Tyrese Maxey, Dylan Harper. I had the 14th pick. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of where maybe 16. I had the 16th pick. Tyrese Maxey, Dylan Harper. Who was my Nas Reed? I had Brooke Lopez as my backup. Derek Jones Jr., Cooper Flagg, Aaron Wiggins, TJ McConnell. That was my top 8. All right. That was my 16th pick. Missed the playoffs in the first season, but I traded for the Hawks lottery pick. The Hawks were trash. Traded for their lottery pick. I do random draft years. It was the 92 draft for this year. That's the Shaq draft. Had the Hawks lottery pick, had my lottery pick. The Hawks got number 2. I got number 12. I traded 2 and 12 for number 1. Took Shaq. So now I got Maxey, who's like an 87. Dylan Harper is like an 85. Cooper Flagg jumps up to like a 90 in his second season. Shaq,
that much.
Yeah, Shaq's like an 83. And who's my? Oh, and I signed PJ Washington in the offseason, and I signed Quentin Grimes in the offseason to shore up my defense and my 3-point shooting. So that's my team for going into my second year. It's a pretty beastly
second
team,
year,
honestly.
60 wins. Cooper Flagg will be top 5 MVP. You'll lose in the conference finals in 6 games.
Wow, no, I'm winning the title if I play it all out, but we'll see. So you'll never guess. Well, I might have spoiled it. The team that won the championship in my first year, the Chicago Bulls. Guess who won Finals MVP? Just take one guess.
Giddy.
No, it's fantasy draft. They didn't have Giddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who won MVP? Wemby.
No, he won Defensive Player of the Year, though. I don't know what team he was on. I don't remember.
Okay.
They had Evan Mobley as their second star. Maybe their first star, technically. Finals MVP. James Harden.
Of course.
James Harden led the Chicago Bulls to the NBA championship. Never in a million years.
Phil Lindsay is smiling somewhere.
Never in a million years.
His love for the trash-ass post-pandemic Clippers meets his love for the Chicago Bulls all his life in one fantasy draft.
You know how in 2K, like before the season, they do the this player wants to go on a retirement tour. Do you accept it?
Yeah.
So LeBron wanted to go on a retirement tour, and I was like, yeah, sure. Ruptured his Achilles first week of the season, missed the entire year. That was LeBron's last year in the game. He missed the entire year. I actually felt bad. I was like, oh, this is kind of a sad way to go out.
Freaking LA Knight is like the new Madden curse. He said his name and he gets injured for the whole retirement tour. That was a great promo. That was one of my favorite LA Knight promos in a while.
That was
like, I don't care if it's Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, LeBron James. It could be Little Bronny. It could be Charles Bronson.
You know what I love about LA Knight right now?
Charles Bronson showed up.
You know what I love about LA Knight? He can't do anything right. It's either
No,
one.
he messes up every promo.
Everything.
Every promo, he
Every
has
promo.
something, a line that he flubs.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to me.
They gave him 2 promos and he still found a way to flub in both of them. And then he does, and in a match, same thing. You give him one spot that he just goes a little too hard on, but for some reason, people just love him because he's authentically dumb in his own way.
Right, he's so like energetic, and I think people. Yeah. Look, it's kind of the same reason Jey Uso is over. I mean, Jey Uso's got the yeet. Yeah. LA Knight has the but people just they flock to energy. They want to be part of the energy, and so even if like you maybe mess it up some stuff in the ring or on the mic, it's like who really cares? I mean, we do this show for a living. When we have high energy and everything, we're not using our words correctly all the time. So when they're out there and they might flub a line, but the energy he gives is so good that it's like, who cares? Like, we're still gonna rock with them and say yeet and all this stuff. So energy can make up for a lot of mistakes.
Yep,
takes you a long way.
Vargov saying in the chat, he gives the energy of someone whose mind works way faster than his mouth. Same thing with my child when he's trying to say words, and all of a sudden you get and then repeats the sentence, then repeats the sentence, and then it's the same thing with LA Knight. He just repeats himself until he gets there. I get it. It's the brain.
I always think in the Michael Scott line. Like, sometimes I just start a sentence and I don't know where it's going, and I just hope to pick it up along the way. That's my philosophy every day when I do a show. Like, sometimes I'll just start an idea and I don't know where I'm going with this idea, but at some point I'll pick it up and hopefully it'll pop some people. Can we explain the Clippers situation to Joel?
I had the most hilarious explanation after we did that podcast where we talked about it. I didn't get it in wrestling. I didn't get it in wrestling terms. I got it from my nephew. I was like, explain it to me. Like, I don't because I was like, I'm having trouble understanding this. And he was just like, it's basically the whole camera gate stuff with the New England Patriots.
Joel's not gonna get that either.
Well, isn't it? Hold on.
I know, but that's why I said it's not pro wrestling terms. I was like, he said it's basically like that, except that the Clippers are losers and didn't win a championship.
Hold on, is this the no-show sponsorship stuff?
Yeah.
With Ric Flair's 2-year deal with AEW and an energy drink. There,
that's actually fair.
Yep, that is a good shout. That is a good shout in wrestling terms.
Don't worry, I got y'all. Listen, just because I don't follow what's on the court doesn't mean I don't understand what happens off the court sometimes. No, this is one because Kawhi Leonard, they did the same thing with Toronto. He wanted allegedly a $10 million no-show sponsorship deal. So I was like,
he wanted to buy the Maple Leafs, didn't he? He wanted like ownership in the Maple Leafs.
Good luck with that.
His uncle apparently has been doing this for years. But I mean, we all knew from the 2019 summer that his uncle was on some different type of games. Like, you should have known by that. It's like, why is this coming out now?
I appreciate his uncle because he led him to the Clippers and we got SGA. So good job, Uncle Kawhi.
Do you know why the Leafs was the funniest fucking team for the longest time?
Because who the hell would want to buy that team? But
they have they're worth a lot of money because of their legacy. But you know who used to own part of the Leafs?
Who's that?
The teachers union in Toronto.
Oh.
And then they sold it to Bell. But like for the longest time, that was one of their hugest assets in the teachers union, was that they had a huge stock in MLSE. And so eventually they sold it off. But yeah, that was a big thing. The Leafs just they're a money making machine.
Oh yeah,
it's like the Knicks. All those years that they were losing, they were still number one most profitable team in the NBA.
And the Leafs continue to be that team that dominates, for so long and then goes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't finish the sentence. That's it. Just go to the playoffs.
That's
it.
It's
like the Jays, right? For a long time, they'll have a crazy ass season, and then they'll drop it at the end, and then they'll back into a wild card spot, and they'll have a serviceable final few games. They'll make it to the playoffs. Good enough.
Steve Ballmer done ruined his legacy. He was viewed as
what was his legacy?
He was viewed as the hero of the Clippers. He saved them from freaking Donald Sterling.
I feel like his legacy was just overexcited owner who never accomplish anything.
Overexcited owner who's not a racist. That's what his legacy.
The not a racist is a big thing because there's a lot of white billionaires owning teams who, if you got down to it, you would learn
real quick.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get out of here and do stuff. I apologize for taking up everybody's time.
No, this is always good.
I should be back. Should be back tomorrow. We shall see, but most likely back tomorrow. And yeah, well, who knows what the hell we're talking about? What's that? NXT?
NXT and I don't know. Whatever. We'll catch up on other stuff.
Yeah.
Is AJ Styles upset with Triple H?
Oh,
he was shooting, brother. He was shooting, brother.
He's bringing back the Bullet Club after we buried it yesterday and said goodnight.
Why is somebody in the back has a problem? Why is this like a thing? Who gives a fuck? Just say who it is.
I swear, like I'm writing headlines for like Rated Raw Review for AJ Lee and stuff. Then I see every other YouTube channel just like Jey Uso turned heel, AJ Styles shooting on WWE. I'm like, what did y'all watch that I didn't watch?
I got to 9 o'clock hour and I was like, that's it. Ain't getting better than this.
I do think the Jey Uso stuff with him acting like Roman and everything. Like I like that little character development.
Oh hell yeah,
for Jey.
Same.
That's good. I know you guys were talking about it just before I popped on, but I just want to give my thoughts on that. I do like that character development. The AJ Styles stuff, I do not. I don't care about. Can AJ Styles just go out there and have like cool matches? Like, why is it so difficult to book AJ Styles? What are we doing here?
Can AJ's son have an intervention with him and be like, "Yo, Dad, I just want you to have great matches before you retire. Can you go to AEW?" Because it's just not going to happen in WWE. Like, I think most of us, except for AJ Styles, realize that. Like, he's not going to be allowed to have fun for his last couple of time in the wrestling ring if he sticks with WWE.
Jeremy, would you like to revise your AJ Styles at Bound for Glory predictions? Now that we know he's not involved with the Intercontinental Championship and that we've moved on from this and it feels like AJ's just kind of riding it out till February.
No, I still don't think he's showing up to TNA. Okay. Although that would actually be great if he turns heel and he's like, someone in the back really has a problem with me. They're sending me to fucking TNA. I didn't sign up for this.
No, you know what? He should defect. He should defect to TNA. Be like, Carlos Silva, you always had my back. And Carlos be like, goddamn right I did.
Get ready to fly.
Nah, that theme song still
I'm playing that theme.
Yeah, that theme song still bangs. Let's be honest about it. All right, I'm gonna actually get out of here. Bye, everybody. Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself in any possible way that you can. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye, sir.
Oh my gosh, we're shooting, brother.
Get ready to fly. Well, what did you think about AJ Styles promo? His shoot promo. People holding him back in the back.
We make movies. Like, what do you want? Like, that's all this is. It was they're trying to make something out of nothing. I don't think most fans understand that AJ is not being used to his full potential. I think a lot of people just see AJ Styles as like guy on his descent, guy who's wrapping it up, guy who's, getting closer to the end than he is to his prime. And that's okay. But to play it out as like, I'm angry at the system because they're not giving me a chance. You're almost 50. Not that that's like I'm not trying to be ageist. Sorry, that does come off as a little ageist. I'm sorry.
It does a little bit.
It does. My apologies. But like, you're making it sound like he's got, plenty left in the tank and he's 35 and he deserves the world. And, you can't fire me. I quit. He's not that guy. He's always been like Vince's little pit bull. That's when they brought them in 2016. Like, he's always been that guy. But there hasn't been any reason to care about him besides he's AJ Styles. You respect him. He's legendary. He's had incredible matches and he's had an incredible WWE run. He had an incredible TNA run. We're at the downside of his career, and that's fine. You know what he's going to do? He's going to make a shit ton of money when he goes and does conventions. That's great. He's going to make money. He's going to do fine. He's already made a ton of money. He should go surfing with Nakamura, like Ryan says. He should just go and hang out with his buddies. I'm not trying to say go away, AJ, because I think he's still plenty useful in wrestling. I think he put up amazing match.
He said, you just said exactly what Louis wrote. Get this old human out of here.
Yeah, that's right. You old ass. But there's a place for AJ Styles. And this is why Jeremy and I had the conversation for so long about AJ and a TNA appearance or a match. Like at Slammiversary, he never really said anything. He's like, we'll get back to that. And then he never got back to that. Now, maybe Bound for Glory, there's an opportunity to get back to that. I don't really expect it. It sounds like Bound for Glory is going to be a multi-man match for the X Division title anyway, probably Ultimate X. And Kazarian is probably going to get the
international
title. They're all the damn title. Don't call them that. The big blue belts. He's going to challenge for the
big blue. Big Blue. He's going to get a shot at Big Blue.
Listen, if Stardom's going to have the red belt, the white belt, then guess what? TNA, you're going to get the blue belt, the black belt. Used to be the brown belt when it was Moose held the X Division title. The red belt, we could have done it, but instead, no, we got to anyway call it by the titles that they give. Either way, it looks like Kazarian's going to have the match against Macklin for the International Championship. There's less reason for AJ to come in unless they've got some blockbuster banger of a match for him. They've already got the nostalgia match at Bound for Glory, and it looks like it's going to be the main event, and it looks like it's going to be fucking awful. But that's another story for another time. Now, I'm not talking about the one you're thinking of. Not that. Oh, no, I'm talking about.
Did you say main event?
Oh, would you look at the time? Goddamn.
Wait, he just said Hardy's versus Dudley's is main event Bound for Glory. Oh, please let that happen. Please.
By the way, if you haven't already, I've been saying that.
You have.
I've been saying that.
But like, damn, because if they do main event, am I correct in assuming we're getting the result of the other thing that we're gonna get, which would be hilarious. I would show up on that Monday episode of In the Weeds just to laugh a bit.
I have put it out there already. I've made it clear, and I'm sure that when we talk about Bound for Glory, when we get closer to October, and I inevitably do your prediction show on True Heel Heat, because that's just what I do now, is I show up for the pay-per-view predictions, and I love it. This is, if what they do is what I think they're doing, do not put the belt on Santana. Don't do it now, and you basically, you screwed yourself. You screwed yourself. There's no better way there's no way to do it. Santana winning the title and then having this old man match as the main event. I'm not going to spoil what the match is. It is a tag match, but there is a stipulation. I'm not going to spoil it because some people don't want to be spoiled. You can find spoilers on the website if you really care.
You'll know on Thursday. You'll know on Thursday.
I think so.
Is it on Thursday? I think they hyped it on last week's show.
No, they hyped it as it's coming for the tapings.
Okay.
So they're going to do. There's a match I think on Thursday, and then next week, the week after that, they do a thing. So anyway, yeah, you and I are probably going to do the post shows moving forward for a few weeks anyway. FYI. So yeah, if they're going to do Santana, they are doing Santana versus Trick. That is official.
Yeah, that's official.
That match should be the main event, but I don't think it's going to be, because the first match they made was the Team 3D Hardys one last match, and they've been running on this nostalgia play for the whole time. And if you're going to have Santana win the belt, then you're immediately going to take away from that moment by doing this nostalgia play. So even if you flip it, it doesn't work any better.
Might be like the greatest honey dicking that TNA has done of their audience since Monty Brown.
No, it's the bit since the last one they did with Joe Hendry.
No, they paid it off. No, that's what I'm saying. If Santana loses at Bound for Glory, it's the greatest honey dicking because they paid off. They paid it off. It was late, but they paid it off with Joe Hendry. They've paid off multiple ones where they missed the peak of it. But to not be able to do it at all, which I already said, when he lost that Slammiversary that it didn't make sense to pull the trigger on it at Bound for Glory because his contract expires at the end of 2025. So you just gonna let him hold the title for 2 months? Like what kind of sense that make?
This is the funniest part is if you watch the show, not everyone watches Impact. I get it. They did a live Impact last week. And I mentioned this with our post show. He effectively said, Trick's not coming to you, so I'm going to NXT. And it's just like, great, that's what you want. The world title feud happening on the NXT show. From a ratings and visions, like from eyes on the product standpoint, I get it. I do. I get it.
Yeah.
More people watch NXT than they do Impact. That's fine. But from an optics of which company do you work for standpoint, it's like, why bother? Why bother? You're telling TNA fans, don't watch the Impact show, go watch NXT on Tuesdays. You'll see how this main title program plays out. Because
there's no other program that's hot enough to carry the TNA portion of it. Like, it's so confusing. It's really so confusing. It's similar to like WWE, where a lot of the stuff that I'm interested right now, it's all going on Monday Night Raw, to the point that the most interesting thing I've seen on SmackDown was a Monday Night Raw storyline of AJ Lee making her return. That's the most interesting thing I've seen on Monday Night Raw this entire year, or someone like John Cena showing up, who is really like a part-timer who can show up wherever he wants. So yeah, and like I don't understand it. I don't understand any of this, but TNA, we'll talk more about that in the weeks to come as I join you on the post show. Oh joy, if that's what it's gonna pay off at the end.
We'll get there. They haven't announced who's main eventing or what match is the main event, and there's probably good reason for that. Smoke, fire, and all those things. And the funniest thing is the pushback that I'll get from people at TNA when I talk about this, and they'll be like, well, last year it was because they had to do the Bound for Glory thing because Jeff had all those painted pieces, and so they, the ladder match had to have all that because of the effect. I'm like, I understand that. And the moment you announced it, I was like, well, Joe Hendry's not winning this title. That was another thing. But if you're going to do that for another year of putting the Hardy, that's fine. They are your cash cow. The Hardys deserve it.
They're the top draw for TNA. It's not Joe Hendry. It's the Hardys.
Stop letting people with high level CTE book your show. That's all it comes down to. Wilson sends a super chat saying Asuka saying Kyrie off camera is the best. Funny, and Kyrie always reacting like shivering up and running away. It's such a sitcom trope. You want to talk about sitcoms?
It is. It's very much sitcom trope to it. Yes.
I don't hate it. It's fun stuff. I think it's really cute. And what do you think of Nikki Bella versus Asuka? What was that match for you? Did you enjoy it?
Didn't really enjoy it, if I'm being honest. I think that Nikki Bella is from a bygone generation of women's wrestling, and she's still working like that bygone era against people that are very much modern in their style. And I don't think that it's translated very well, especially in these singles matches, whether it be her one with Chelsea Green a couple of months ago or the Becky Lynch matchup, which I think objectively is top 2 worst WWE matches of the year so far. And then this one wasn't that much better either, but I think that the strength of the current story that's going on with the former Damage Control has been the backstage segments and how they've added more depth to her character. I thought that Asuka has come off like very well, where you could see a world where Asuka is going to fill that top heel spot in the Raw Women's division moving forward, because she's very very demanding, very domineering towards someone like Io Sky, who's supposed to be her friend and is a very popular star on the roster. And if she continues down the path of keep being domineering to her, she's going to get the heat in result of that. Her talking down to someone like a Rhea Ripley and Nikki Bella will also help in that fact as well. And bossing around Kairi Sane all at the same time. So I think that Asuka's been doing some of the best character work that we've seen from her in the last 5-6 years over the last couple of weeks, and she did that again last night.
Yeah, I agree with you largely with the match not being to its full potential, but I also give Asuka full credit because she knows how to bump and feed really well. She knows how to give it to her opponent to the point where Nikki didn't look a step behind at places where she should have. There's one moment in particular, oh god, it was towards the end, where you could physically see Asuka just like go down and give herself to Nikki for whatever spot she had planned. I wish I could pull it up better, but there is a spot it's plain as day. And yeah, the match was what it was. I thought Nikki was serviceable. I think that's as good as you're going to get with Nikki Bella. It's not a knock on her. It's good that she has kind of leveled out with her performances. This was better than Paris, but if you're expecting her to come out and win the world title, I'd probably advise against it.
Xeno Hour saying much better performance from Nikki, in my opinion, when you have to remember that the much better performance is in comparison to the drizzling shits of diarrhea and having to sit on the toilet all weekend. Throwing up in the morning, it's better than that. That's basically what Xeno Hour is saying, that throwing up is better than having diarrhea, by saying that Nikki Bella's performance was better last night than Clash in Paris. When you lower the bar that far, anything is better. Showing up is better.
Jesus Christ. Stephanie Vaquer was not on Raw. Speaking of drizzling shit, no, I'm just kidding. Really kidding. We haven't seen Stephanie Vaquer perform on Raw in well over a month at this point. We're wondering what's going on there. So she wasn't there at the show to do the contract signing that they had pitched and that they were promoting. They kind of took it down. They weren't promoting the contract signing as of, I think, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, they didn't do it. And Adam Pearce's line was effectively, she can't be at Raw tonight. She didn't make it to Raw tonight. Don't know what's going on. Says that she's still doing the match at Wrestlepalooza. So I think Gray's mentioning visa issue in the chat is a pretty good guess, but we don't know for sure. We'll find out soon enough when she either acknowledges it or doesn't.
We also have to point out she has not wrestled since before SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken.
I think someone had mentioned the end of July.
Yeah, like we're going on 2 months of her not wrestling. So yeah, I think that it should be something that is looked into. I'm hoping it's something as simple as a visa issue, because WWE seem to handle those a lot faster than any other company out there. So that's easy to rectify. But yeah, the way they've handled it, it seems like it's very much a fly by the seat of our pants type of situation. Like they don't know what the next thing is, and they kind of did it in an explanation that's like, oh, we're just winging it basically here. We don't know what we think that she's gonna show up. We're pretty sure the match is still on, but we're gonna leave a little bit of doubt just in case we have to pull it from the card next week, which would be horrible considering you just pulled the title match from the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm checking her socials and there's nothing here that's like, I can't be there. It's very much just promotion is normal. Again, you can't promote a contract signing for several weeks and then suddenly pull it like that. You don't do that anymore and then pull it and say she couldn't be here. Whatever it is, hopefully she's fine. Again, they doubled down and they said she'll be available for Wrestlepalooza, and hopefully it's as easy as that. See what goes.
We shall see. But yeah, interesting. It's something to take note of from last night's show, but we'll have to see what it translates into.
Yeah. The other women's match on the show, the Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne, or not Roxanne, who was she facing? Raquel
Lyra
and
Valkyria.
I saw a lot of people trying to give flowers to Raquel, and that's all nice. The match was not very good. Sorry, folks.
I didn't think the match was not very good.
You ever watch wrestling underwater? You ever watch people wrestle when they're underwater?
I have not.
I've seen matches where people look like they're wrestling underwater. It happened on NXT one time where I was like, this match looks like these two people are trying to do things while they're underwater. Like they have 10-pound weights attached to their feet. It looked like that. And I know both women can go. I know both women can wrestle very well. There was something that there were a bunch of spots where I'm like, oh, you look like you're thinking and setting up. And that's not fun for me. Didn't love it.
I'll be honest with you. I get that a lot in WWE, so I tend to like kind of blank it out. I thought the match was decent. I don't think I loved it. I can't say I liked it, but it was fine. It was fine for what it was. It accomplished what it needed to. That paired with the latest Bailey vignette, which I'm like, some weeks I'm loving these Bailey vignettes, and then some weeks I'm like, okay, now you're veering towards disbelief. And I felt like this promo was more of the latter, where she looks over here, she hears the role model voice, like, yeah, it was really fun, and blah, blah, blah. And then she hears the hugger voice. Oh, well, yeah, I'm such a good person, and I should make things right with Lyra. Will you stop? I was like, oh my God, you're such a bad. It's so bad.
There's a really interesting conversation that Wade Keller is having lately about the Bailey stuff. When he's not calling him Steve Cutler instead of Steve Macklin, he's having really good conversations about WWE and production and the presentation of wrestling. And one of the things that he is on one about is the Bailey vignettes. And he's like, why are they being produced like this when wrestling is supposed to be a real, true to form, like camera in front of your face and you're talking?
Yes.
Why are we getting her mind?
Yes.
Why are we getting her brain? Why are we getting these VOs? Why are we getting voiceovers? And he's right to a point. I think he's harping on it a little too hard, but the idea of like, if we're going to do this, then what's stopping people from, from like an alien attack coming in through Raw? And like he's using extremes to make his point, but I think the idea is there. The presentation of her going crazy is being much more cinematically presented, almost like Thunderdome era stuff, where you could be creative and you could be weird like that. And you can't do that now, where everything's in the arena, everything is happening, and everything is in service of the reality of what is happening in wrestling, instead of what this is, which is it's like getting a little too cute by a half, as I like to say. They're taking it a little too far. And I think he's got a really good point, but people are really willing to be like, well, it's the, this is the production side, the cinematic side of wrestling. And it's, no one else is doing this in wrestling right now. No one else is presenting. Like, this is very TNA coded, as the kids like to say.
This would fit in more on like NXT than on the main roster. Like, this is, I think if I saw this on NXT, I would just kind of laugh it off and be like, okay, I'll see where this is going. But like, I'm going through this kind of, like I said, 1 week I'm loving it. Like last week's segment, I actually enjoyed it, despite it kind of taking me out of the level of it wasn't last week, because you didn't have one last week, but the week before that, when we started hearing the role model voice and the hugger voice, I was like, okay, this was better than the second week. This was not as good as that week. I thought that it was just too over the top, too much. This is not real. You're hearing her talking to herself. She did voiceovers. Like I'm like trying to figure out how this was all made. I'm like, she did a voiceover to be played as she's doing an interview. I am totally out of this. I'm totally not into this.
Yeah. Obviously. I think there's a point to be made of how you present this. And right now it's not effective. They changed it up this week to make it look less, to make it look more apparent that you're in her mind, you're in her brain, one side, the other, the devil and the angel on her shoulder. But it's still, the way that it's presented is completely against the typical wrestling presentation, where reality is what you're in and you don't go away from it, unless you're the Wyatts. Exactly. Is there anything else from Raw that we need to pop into?
I believe that is everything for the most part. There was some issues within the Judgment Day. Penta lost to Rusev. So Penta's just a guy, like I keep saying. And the people still don't care about Rusev. They still won't give him any type of reaction. And the New Day is still feuding with Penta over a hat.
Good for them. Get your hats. Morning Woods.
Remember when Penta was taking the WWE by storm? Good times.
Yeah, because they found out that he's a Mexican wrestler, and they're just like, it's fine. Send it back to AAA. He's going to make his first appearance here in how many years?
You're a little too Mexican for us, sir. You're just a little too. You speak Spanish? You could cut English promos though. Okay. Oh, great. Yeah.
You see, Penta, the problem is, how do I say this? Yo soy Mexicano. But that's just like that's the conversation I expect them to be having back there. I just see Stephanie McMahon being like, Penta, come talk to me. And she does her.
You know I'm fluent. You know I'm fluent. I order all of our food at the Mexican restaurant. Come
on. This is the most Peggy Hill conversation. Yo soy Penta.
Oh man. There we go. There you have it, folks.
Yeah, you got it. No, I wasn't going to do that. So you can think I was going to do the Don Callis Yo Soy, but no. Yeah.
Yo Soy Headshot Zero.
The worst. We'll cross that aisle for a second. Unfortunately, we found out yesterday, and I feel bad about this because Jeremy and I were asking the same question again that we did months and months ago. Where's Wardlow? Unfortunately, it turns out that Wardlow may be injured. Fightful Select reported Wardlow returned from his year-plus absence, and it's feared that he may have injured himself again, a torn pec muscle this time, which would sideline him for quite some time. There's a possibility that he could remain on TV in an enforcer role. It was suggested that the injury took place upon his return angle, but that isn't confirmed. Wardlow missed about a year with injuries, but was cleared a number of months ago. However, held off TV because he filmed the first 2 seasons of American Gladiators, which he has completed. Number of talent were bummed about the news, and they were excited for Wardlow, who waited for who battled injuries and got back to TV. We wish him the best in his recovery. It sucks to see that because, again, Wardlow, they had just brought him back, and for me at least, it was a little weird to see him 1 week, after the first night of the residency in Philly. He comes out with Don Callis, he's in the suit, and there's no physicality, and then we never saw him again. And now it turns out we found out why he's injured again, and I think that sucks.
Yeah, and I'm hearing stuff about it possibly being when he attacked Nana, and that just sucks, man. It sucks to see someone who was away for so long due to injury come back and immediately get injured. When I heard about the report yesterday, I immediately started thinking about someone like a Tegan Knox who got injured so soon after coming back from injury. And I hate when that kind of stuff happens because these guys and gals work so hard every single day, going to the gym, recovering, rehabbing, taking care of their mental health, taking care of their physical health to get back into the ring, just for it to just turn around and your first night back you get injured again. It just sucks. Like Zeno Hour said in the chat, it's very much like a snake bitten situation. So I'm hoping that, Wardlow's got a good spot in the Don Callis family, especially with the Callis family being positioned as the top heel faction. Now that we've kind of moved past Jon Moxley's reign as AEW World Champion, I think that he could come back into a prominent position again with the Callis family, but he's gonna have to basically start all over again, which really sucks for someone who we all wish would have reached the potential that he set out for 3 years ago. And that it's been these type of situation as of late. It just really is frustrating, I know, for him, and just heartbreaking for us as fans.
Yeah, we'll see where he lands next, where he comes, when he comes back, and how long it takes. But yeah, you never want to hear injury news, and it's especially shitty when you're just coming back from another injury and you're on a high because you just did 2 seasons of a reboot TV show that looks like it's going to be fun, and then this happens. So our best to Wardlow. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery this time around, and if he's available to be on TV and just be enforcer, badass looking dude, whatever gets you on TV and in front of people, I can go a long way. Going back to the idea of mental health, not losing your spot, sticking around, that'd be nice. Good. Hopefully he sticks around. NXT tonight. You want to preview that real quick when we get out of here?
Sure, if we have to.
We have to. Trick Williams says he'll see DIY. He will physically see them. Those are the words. Trick Williams says he'll see DIY. So He's going to go and look at them and say, I see you. And that'll probably be that.
And he's going to come with someone who doesn't miss.
Poor Mello. I hope it's someone different. I hope he brings out just someone random. Miz. Miz.
Former two-time NXT champion Karrion Kross.
You mean the reason why Sami Zayn was booed in Chicago? Yeah, go watch yesterday's show if you really want to get there. NXT tag team titles are on the line. Dark State takes on Hank and Tank. Apparently, they've already announced it's going to be Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin. They're going to be the two members of the team going up against Hank and Tank Hong Kong. Hooray!
They really love Osiris Griffin, man. I was wondering when he was in there in the tag team title matchup. I was wondering why he was in there because I think, like, objectively, he's the worst in-ring performer of Dark State. But then when they did the vignette on last week's NXT and he explained that he used to play for the New Orleans Saints and he was an NFL player, I was like, oh, that's why you're the one that's wrestling these matches. I understand. No further questions.
You know, Trick's probably just going to bring out AJ Francis, by the way.
I guess that counts as a former NXT wrestler.
Or Rich Swann, former cruiserweight champion. Could be Rich. Rich hasn't done a shot yet. He's back.
Now you're using your noggin.
He hasn't been Trick and Jason yet. So there you go. DIY versus Trick and Rich Swann for some reason. Javon Evans takes on Josh Briggs because that's a match we need to see. That should be that's a thing. I feel like we did that already.
Who's Andre Chase?
Yeah, him too. Javon Evans, Josh Briggs.
It's Javon Evans. I thought Javon Evans would be injured after the choke slam through the chair, but apparently we're getting this match this week. I expect Josh Briggs to kick up the win. I want to give NXT credit because they're always coming up with some type of singles match, some type of singles feud for Javon Evans outside of the title picture. Every time I'd be like, okay, you gave him a title match and then he loses. What he does next, they always have a plan for him. So I will give them credit on that.
A fucking flag match. Ethan Page, Tavion Heights. Because it's 1986 again. Why not? It's the height of the Cold War. I hope you're excited.
Flag match. Tavion gets the win.
Ethan Page win the damn match.
Tavion's gonna win.
We all know
Tavion's gonna win one of these non-title matches.
Sure. A spot at the WWE Women's Tag Titles are on the line. Remember them? It's an elimination match. Fatal Influence. It's going to be JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and or Jasmine Nix. That's amazing. They haven't announced which one. They take on the
Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley. What are y'all talking about?
Exactly. Versus the Culling, Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, and Zaruka. So who's getting the tag title shot? Is it the Culling against Charlotte and Alexa?
You know, that makes sense because Izzy Dame is one of those Charlotte Flair prototypes.
Volleyball player.
Yeah, like they seem to get one of these Charlotte Flair prototypes every couple of years. They've had Lacey Evans and stuff like that. Now they got Izzy Dame. They just get these Charlotte Flair prototypes and try to reshape Charlotte, try to clone Charlotte, but it never works. They need to talk to El Clone or Hologram. I don't know. But I am going to go with the Culling. The Culling is the one that makes the most sense. I would like them to do a story about Fatal Influence trying to get all the gold, but they seem more concerned with Fatal Influence being the 57th faction with dissension problems.
Hell yeah. Don't you know all women hate each other, SB3?
All factions hate each other, apparently, in WWE.
They should all be done. Anyway, Speed Women's title number 1 contenders tournament continues. Fabi Apache comes in from AAA to take on Lainey Reed. Remember her? I mean, you do because you watch all the shows, but Lainey Reed is going to take on Fabi Apache.
Lainey Reed? No, I know who you're talking about. She's the one who wants to be a cowgirl because Fallon Henley's no longer a cowgirl, so the gimmick was open.
Well, I'm going to be the one who takes over. She's going to kick out Jasmine Nix when Jasmine Nix goes and, loses whatever for the team, and she'll be the next Fatal Influencer.
I'm going with Fabi Apache. She's facing Natalia on Friday, so she's got to win here.
But why not? It's speed. Maybe it's a double count out. They all suck.
Nah, it's Fabi Apache.
Oh, okay,
You got to give her a win on WWE TV so you can promote Worlds Collide, where she's facing Natalia to determine the #1 contender for the AAA Reina de Reyes Championship.
The Reina de Reyes Championship. Once held by Deonna Purrazzo. Once held by Taya Valkyrie. Currently held by who?
Lady Flammer.
Lady Flammer. Oh, yeah, that's right. She's got the referee. Anyway, we're back tomorrow. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'll be here. Could be Jeremy. Could be me. Could be SB3. We'll find out. Is there anything else we got to cover? Is there anything else we got to talk about? I think we got it.
I don't think so. I think you covered all your bases, sir. We talked about Monday Night Raw. We talked about sitcoms and what we used to watch when we were kids. This was a productive episode, mainly for us talking about sitcoms.
Cyclops is better than Wolverine set one a long time ago, saying best example is Cottonmouth dying in Luke Cage.
Yup, the show died. Died once they did that. The Cottonmouth dying in the bloodline was the men's war games last year. That's when it should have ended, but they dragged it out for 2 more months for the Ula Fala matchup on the Netflix premiere, and then have drugged it out for 8 more months with Solo creating the MFTs. This is ridiculous. We're done. We're done. We're over it.
We're done too. So leave a thumbs up on the way out. SP3 is going to plug away, and I'm going to go have lunch with my wife for our anniversary. Go ahead, pal.
Happy anniversary to Joel and his wife. Shout outs to the great and all powerful Harlem because she made this picture. This picture.
Put it away. Put it away.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I'll be live in less than an hour with top guy JJ for Rated Raw Review, reviewing last night's Monday Night Raw. Go a little bit more in depth. If JJ's not there, that won't stop me from going nearly 2 hours because I did that last week on my own. So join me there. Let's talk some Monday Night Raw. Have some fun for all us old humans out there. And once again, thank you for Joel for having me today, and happy anniversary.
I mean, I'm always here. You're always here. Tuesdays are my day off. You're always here on Tuesdays. I just got lucky. That's all. But we got through it, pal.
Yeah.
For SB3, you know who I am. You know who he is because I just said who he is. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one.